Breaking news: over 400 Rohingya feared dead in two shipwrecks off Myanmar coast, says UN. Hello and welcome to the Sit Down News. My name is Nefechuku Oreme. I will be bringing you the news in detail. The United Nations has issued a grave warning following two devastating shipwrecks off the coast of Myanmar, where over 400 Rohingya refugees are feared to have drowned. These back-to-back maritime tragedies occurred on May 9th and May 10th and are among the deadliest incidents involving Rohingya fleeing persecution and hardship in recent years. According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the first shipwreck occurred on May 9th when a boat carrying 267 people capsized after departing from Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh. The boat was reportedly en route to Myanmar's Rakhine State to pick up more passengers. Only 66 survivors were rescued from the wreckage. A second boat capsized the following day, May 10th, with 247 people on board. In that case, only 21 individuals were rescued, and in total, the two boats carried 514 Rohingya refugees. Just 87 people have been confirmed alive, and the remaining 427 are presumed dead or missing. UNHCR officials have described these maritime journeys as acts of extreme desperation, driven by the increasingly dire conditions in refugee camps and continued human rights violations in Myanmar. In Cox's Bazar, the world's largest refugee settlement, hundreds of thousands of Rohingya have lived in overcrowded camps since fleeing ethnic violence in Myanmar in 2017. Funding shortages have severely strained humanitarian support in the camps. According to the UNHCR, only 30% of its $383.1 million appeal for 2025 has been met. The lack of funds has forced the organization to freeze over $300 million in planned assistance, leading to cuts in food rations, healthcare, education, and protection services. These people are not making these journeys lightly, said UNHCR spokesperson Shabia Mantu. They are leaving because the conditions have become untenable. This is not migration, this is survival. The two disasters may not be isolated incidents. UNHCR also reported that a third boat carrying 188 Rohingya refugees left the Myanmar coast on May 14 and has since disappeared. The fate of its passengers remain unknown. These journeys are typically arranged by smuggling networks that prey on vulnerable refugees. Survivors often recount paying exorbitant sums to traffickers, facing brutal conditions at sea with little food, water, or safety measures. The Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea, key routes for these maritime escapes, are notorious for rough waters, inadequate vessels, and poor weather, making them among the world's most dangerous sea passages for refugees. The UNHCR has urged regional governments, including those of Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, and Malaysia, to cooperate in search and rescue operations and ensure the safe disembarkation of those at risk at sea. The agency has also appealed for increased international support to improve conditions in refugee camps and prevent further exploitation of displaced people. Preventing these tragedies requires addressing the root causes, the continued persecution of the Rohingya and the humanitarian crisis in the camps, Mantu emphasized. International human rights organizations have also called for renewed efforts to hold the Myanmar military accountable for its treatment of the Rohingya population, which has been widely described as the ethnic cleansing and by some legal bodies as genocide. The Rohingya, a Muslim minority in the Buddhist majority Myanmar, have faced systemic discrimination for decades, including denial of citizenship, restrictions on movement, and exclusion from public services. Following a brutal military crackdown in Rakhine State in 2017, more than 740,000 Rohingya fled to Bangladesh. While some efforts have been made to repatriate refugees, ongoing violence and political instability in Myanmar have made returns unsafe. In 2023 alone, nearly 4,500 Rohingya undertook risky sea voyages, with at least 569 reported dead or missing, a toll that may now be exceeded by the recent shipwrecks. In conclusion, with more than 400 lives feared lost in a matter of days, the international community faces renewed urgency to respond to the Rohingya crisis. The UNHCR's warnings serve as a stark reminder of the price of inaction. Unless the world addresses both the immediate humanitarian needs and the underlying political causes, more lives will undoubtedly be lost at sea. This has been the news in detail. My name remains Nefechuku Oreme. Do not forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Desitdown News. Thank you so much for watching.
Don't forget to follow us for more content.